Hello there! In this video I'll be demonstrating how I make a split grade print with my darkroom timer. Split grade printing is a two exposure method where you use different contrast filters for your highlights and your shadows. That way, instead of using different filters to match the contrast and get a good white and black point, you can simply concentrate on them separately. One downside is that the method only works with multi-grade papers, so I'll be using some Ilford FP4 RC paper in satin finish. It doesn't matter if I do the highlights or the shadows first, so I flip a coin and I'm going for the highlights. I'll make a test strip and try to get my highlights to look good. The waterfall in the middle is almost perfect for that, because I want it as white as possible without blowing out. Need to keep the tonality and some texture of the flowing water. First, I'll be setting this channel as a highlight channel with grade 00. That doesn't really do anything on its own apart from reminding me which filter I need to use. After that, everything is just same as usual. I'll start with a 5-second strip this time, but instead of my usual 0.5 step increments, I'll go for a whole stop. I can always refine it later on. This one here looks like a good starting point. Keep in mind that I don't care about how my shadows or midtones look at this point. All I want to see is some detailed highlights with strong textures. I'll choose this strip and hit enter to go to refine mode. Now I'll do my usual 0.2 step increment strips, but since I want to see what the whole waterfall looks like, I'll use 5 separate pieces of paper, one for each strip. Here are the results. This one looks the best to me, so I'll choose that one and finally click OK. Now it's time to expose the shadows. I know that there is some great texture on the bark of this tree, and I certainly want to show that. I'll make a test strip along the bark and see what exposure time I can keep that detail in. Before removing my 00 filter, I'll make an exposure with it, since that area will get affected by the highlights too. The shadow exposure will build on top of that. Now I go to my second channel, set it for the shadows with a grade 5 filter. As before, I'll make a test strip on top of the exposure I've already done. Here's the shadow strip. This one carries all the details and the texture I want, while still retaining a good black point. If I go for any of the lighter ones, I won't have any true blacks in my final print, since this one is the darkest area of my photo. I don't really want to refine it by one final thing before going on. I want to see how the waterfall and the bridge look with these settings. You may have noticed when I scroll back and forth between the test strips, the countdown time on the right changes as well. Any number you see there, you can make an exposure with. So I'll just place a small scrap paper here and make an exposure with my candidate before locking it down. And after that, I'll switch back to my 00 filter and to my highlights channel and make an exposure with that on top. If everything went well, this should have enough highlight and shadow detail and all the midtones should just fall in place. And here it is. Looks pretty good to me. For demonstration purposes, I made 2 more exposures, one with grade 00 and one with grade 5. You can see what each filter does and how it contributes to the final exposure. If I had wanted a slightly different midtone behavior, I could have used a 0 or 1 instead of a 00 filter and maybe 4, 4.5 instead of grade 5. Only thing for me left to do is go back to my shadow channel and click OK. Now I'm ready to make the final print. Since both my times are fixed now, I don't need to reach over to my timer anymore. I'll just use my remote trigger to start the exposure and my foot switch to change between the channels. I could have configured each of these remote buttons and switches to do anything, but this is how I work. The second button on my foot switch, by the way, toggles between red and white light. I'm about to open a pack of paper, so I'll switch to red now. I already have the 00 filter in place, so that goes first. When it's over, I'm exchanging it with my grade 5 filter, change the channel with my foot switch and click my remote again. That was it. Here's the final print right down. I could work on this a bit further with some dodging and burning, but that'll be another video. I'm really happy with how this one turned out, even without them. Maybe I'll shoot another video working on this one even further, but for now, this has been my split grade introduction video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested about my darkroom timer project, I'll be releasing it on Indiegogo in a few days. There's a link in the description if you want to receive further information about the project. Thank you for your time and see you in another video.